Hello guys and welcome back. So let me keep going down to the bottom of the face. Now there's one thing you want to keep in mind is that you have a lot of lines going down here, right? And if you keep going down to the bottom to the body part, those might be too much. This is actually a good position and place actually to make those guys disappear. What I can do is actually do some structure like this. You see what I'm doing is basically say you guys are going down but you're meeting each other from the other side. Okay, so that way I'm basically telling it to eliminate each other from the other side. The more I do this, the less the line will go down. Okay, so I can actually do a lot of these just to simplify the lines going down to the neck. Right, but at some point I need to say that's enough of simplification. Right, I cannot do this anymore. So let's see, I think that's already enough, so I'm gonna break it over here and have it go like this. Alright, then you can see again we have a pole here, and that's gonna happen when we transfer shape. Alright, so we have many of the lines going down meet each other like these guys. Right, this line, this line, this line. So they're not going down. You can see we have much less lines going down actually. And I can just have those guys keep going down. Okay, and this loop keep going, will keep going to the corner of the face, the jaw actually. All right, so moving down to the corner of the jaw, let me add one more face here. Okay, now I'm gonna say this is gonna be the corner, right? So what I'm gonna do here is adding two faces to wrap around it. Okay, and then connect them to the top and to the bottom. Okay, and keep going to there. So what I'm getting basically is I'm getting a corner shape over here. Now that's going to be a particular topology that I use a lot to represent any corner that I have, like the corner of the jaw. Because this looks like a corner of the cube, right? If you think about that, this is basically a cube, right? So that's the corner of the cube, and because that's how that's represented in a three-dimensional way, and that's how why I'm doing it that way. Okay, and let me just add more faces here down the way in the middle to fill in that part. All right, and I can do some smoothing. Now when I look at it, I'm thinking, okay, I think I need more lines going down here just to make this part represent it better. So let me add one more edge loop down there to make it better. Okay, now I do have a problem. I have so many lines going down on the side of the face, so I'm thinking maybe I can just have more lines actually go here. So let's say have this one to also go down there, so I have more lines that has to go shifting this way to ease that pen, ease the lines all going down, right? Ease that little pen here, the pen down there, right? So that everyone is nice and happy. No one is getting squeezed too much. Okay. All right. And I can keep doing this if I wanted to, and we will have something like that at the bottom. But for now, let's say this is okay. All right. Now moving on to the side of the face, I think everything is fine now. I don't think I need to tweak anything up there, but let's actually do something on the eye. I think I forget to do the thickness of the eye, which is something you don't really want to overlook. So let me actually do that, and that's why I have the eyeball shape also here to tell me exactly where I want the lid to end, right? To be ending up there. So let me actually fill in the thickness for the eyelid. Right. Now this is important. If you don't have the thickness represented by the topology and you rely on normal map, that's going to be a disaster, because you cannot really rig it without seeing the normal map, and when you drag geometry around, the normal map get stretched. That's going to be really hard to do. So I personally intend to make those shape that needs deformation represented by topology if I can. Alright. So now when it reaches here, I can use one face to fill in the bottom ground over there. Right. And maybe one more face up here and just move them closer to the turning point up there. Alright. Cool. So we can figure out what's going on here later on, but I think one thing I can do is add one more loop here in the middle just to make this part represented better. Okay, and then I can hold it on Shift to smooth out the positioning of those loops here in the middle. But afterwards, I'm going to bring these guys back to make them occupy the edge, the turning edge of the nodes, more or less. Okay. Okay, so make them nice and even. Alright, cool. Moving on to the side of the face, you can see there is a super complicated thing called the ear, right? So we need to deal with the ear, right? For the ear, one thing you wanted to do first is, of course, representing the basic structures here. Now, one thing I'd like to do is actually mark out the Y shape first. Although I know that that's not the outside, but it's easier to mark actually the harder part first, and then the circles around it will be very easy to extend from it. So that's why I'm doing this way. Okay, let me just keep going down here. You can see I'm representing that Y shape in the middle using my geometry here. Okay, all right, and this Y shape, I'm gonna make it keep going, and then have a little turn here, and then keep going up. And I'm going to use this to represent also this big batch up here. And I will also keep going all the way connected actually to the edge of this loop here. And keep going from there. I'm going to represent this loop. Okay, so it's going to be something like this. Those are the primary structures I'm blocking out. Those are also the first thing I try to sculpt out, if you do recall. Okay, and I can use extend to do that. All right. Now again, I'm not sure if I'm having the correct poly count to match them yet, but those are the primary or the basic structure I was talking about earlier. Okay, now with those blocked out, and then I can just fill in the gaps basically. So let's actually go ahead and do that in the next video. Okay, see you next time.